So
Hey, it's been a while.
yeah, it's been a while.
Oh.
I'm still here. After this crap run.
Okay. Wow, your background, your new background is cool.
Yes. I'm not sure where, but I can guess this is in Singapore.
What is
Maybe
that?
Singapore hotel.
Singapore?
Singapore. I'm not sure, but this may seem as hotel in Singapore. But actually, I'm not sure.
Who knows? That will only be in Japan. Okay, so what have you been doing lately?
Lately, so I've started my YouTube channel.
Oh wow. Okay. So what's the content about?
It's about Japanese lifestyle, just like vlog, vlog, and yeah. So I have just only five subscribers now.
Okay, so how many videos have you uploaded already?
Three videos.
3 videos?
Yeah.
Okay, what's their name?
I can send the link in the chat box.
Okay. So let me copy it.
Yeah. So this is one way to improve my English because the content is in English. So the target householders or support people who are interested in Japanese life. Yeah. So I attach some narration in English. Yeah, for all
Okay.
videos.
But is there a voiceover?
A voiceover, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what's the very first video that you uploaded?
The first video was something like introducing myself.
Okay, will your viewers can see you on the video or just the voice?
Not true, but
Will you be seen in your videos or just your voice?
just my voice, and I use avatar to for my privacy.
Okay.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's cherry blossom already. So have you uploaded about cherry blossoms?
I'll actually fulfill those videos today, and yeah, so I will upload it.
Okay. So just in time, I'll be able to check it out. Maybe you have uploaded it already.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then let's go with our lesson for today.
Yes.
So we are going to study daily news in this lesson. So, and the title is Japan lowers earthquake death toll estimate to 2,980,000. Okay, what earthquake?
I'm not sure that earthquake in general. So there are a lot of earthquakes in Europe. So
Okay, but
in total, I
ah
think this number is an estimation of the deaths.
of all the earthquake that
Yeah, that's right.
experienced, I see. Okay, so let's see if we are correct with our insights. Okay, so let's have words and phrases. So let's learn some of the words that are used in the article. Now let's have the first word, estimate. Okay, let's read a sample sentence. The company will estimate the cost of the new building.
The company will estimate the cost of the new building.
Okay, so please make a sentence using the word estimate.
Okay. I estimate. I estimate the salary for next year.
You have estimated your salary for next year?
Yes.
That soon?
Um, the fiscal year is the fiscal year of my company ends
Mm.
in yeah, June and starts in July. So um, yeah, so the theory of next year is defined by my achievements in this year. So I mean, this is in April is the fourth quarter in the year, so yeah, I can collect all my activities for meeting with my manager. So I can
Mm.
guess I can have the guess on this.
So you had already got have an estimation.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so let's have the next word, massive.
massive.
The earthquake caused a massive disruption in the region.
The earthquake caused a massive disruption in the region.
Okay, can you please make a sentence with the word massive?
I like the ramen, which is famous for its massive volume.
Okay, but is that so big?
Yeah, it's so big, and yeah, I think you can imagine that how big it is.
Okay, next let's have the next word, probability.
Probability.
Okay, the probability of rain tomorrow is high.
The probability of rain tomorrow is high.
Okay, please make a sentence using the word probability.
Okay. The probability of the probability that I can have the promotion for next next year is higher than last year.
Okay, so that's how we should think. Okay, next,
Yeah,
assume.
assume.
You should never assume things without verifying the facts.
You should never assume things without verifying the facts.
Okay, can you please make a sentence with the word assume?
Assume. Mm, mm, assume the salary for next year is meaningless.
You're really looking forward to your salary next year.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's
okay.
meaningless.
That's fine. At least you get
It's
to
yeah.
maybe allocate some or have it by proportion already for
Mm-hmm.
things that you wanted to do.
Ah, yeah,
Okay, let's have the last word, mobilize.
yeah. Mobilize.
The organization plans to mobilize volunteers for the event.
Mm. The organization plans to mobilize volunteers for the event.
Okay, can you please make a sentence with the last word?
Mm, mm, the event mobilize the event will mobilize 1,000 people.
Okay. Okay, so what's that event? Why is it so
Mm,
just small?
I'm not sure. Just a sample.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any questions before we proceed to the next part?
No questions.
Okay, so let's move on to the next part, which is the comprehension. So please look at the direction.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the listening focus. So let's check the questions that you will have to answer later. So please look at the questions as I read them twice. So let's have number one. What has the government revised regarding the death toll from the earthquake along the Nanjai through? What has the government revised regarding the death toll from the earthquake along the Ninkai through? Number two, how much larger is the affected area by the resulting tsunami projected to be? How much larger is the affected area from the resulting tsunami projected to be? And number three, What does the report predict about the tsunami wave heights in Kuchi Prefecture? So, what does the report predict about the tsunami wave heights in Kuchi Prefecture? Okay, so now let's listen to the audio. Here we go.
Japan lowers earthquake death toll estimate to 298,000. The government's Central Disaster Management Council has updated its estimate for the death toll from a massive earthquake along the Nankai Trough, lowering it to 298,000, down from 323,000. However, the area impacted by the resulting tsunami is now projected to be 30% larger than before. The report also estimates that between 26,000 and 52,000 people could die indirectly, and the economic damage is expected to reach 292 trillion yen. The Nankai Trough, stretching from Shizuoka to Miyazaki, has experienced significant earthquakes, including those in 1944 and 1946. In 2025, the government raised the probability of a major earthquake within the next 30 years from 70 to 80% to 80%. The report estimates that a tsunami with waves of at least 3 meters would impact over 115,000 hectares, 30% more than before. The highest tsunami wave could reach 34 meters in Kochi Prefecture. The death toll assumes a late-night winter tsunami scenario where 20% of people evacuate immediately. In this case, 215,000 would die from the tsunami, accounting for 70% of the death toll. With 12.3 million people expected to evacuate and 950,000 injured. The report also considers a coseismic slip, which could result in an additional 176,000 deaths. The government plans to review its disaster prevention plan this summer, considering the aging population and growing risks. All entities are urged to mobilize their full resources in preparation.
Okay, so that's scary. Okay.
Yes.
So it's just a forecast or a prediction,
Yeah.
right? That might
Prediction.
happen 30 years from now.
Yes, it is said that we will have those kind of very big earthquake in the Nankai Trough. So yeah, I was educated that may happen in the future.
Oh, really? Also, Japan has this forecast because
Mhm.
here in Philippines there are also forecasts that there's a big earthquake that might hit Philippines anytime. So
Mm.
that's a big one. So
Mm.
I thought it was Philippines. Also, Japan
Mhm.
also has their forecast. I
Yeah.
see. Okay, so are you okay with the
Please
audio?
let me again. Listen again.
Okay, here I'll play it for you.
Yeah.
Japan lowers earthquake death toll estimate to 298,000. The government's Central Disaster Management Council has updated its estimate for the death toll from a massive earthquake along the Nankai Trough, lowering it to 298,000, down from 323,000. However, the area impacted by the resulting tsunami is now projected to be 30% larger than before. The report also estimates that between 26,000 and 52,000 people could die indirectly, and the economic damage is expected to reach 292 trillion yen. The Nankai Trough, stretching from Shizuoka to Miyazaki, has experienced significant earthquakes, including those in 1944 and 1946. In 2025, the government raised the probability of a major earthquake within the next 30 years from 70 to 80% to 80%. The report estimates that a tsunami with waves of at least 3 meters would impact over 115,000 hectares, 30% more than before. The highest tsunami wave could reach 34 meters in Kochi Prefecture. The death toll assumes a late-night winter tsunami scenario where 20% of people evacuate immediately. In this case, 215,000 would die from the tsunami, accounting for 70% of the death toll. With 12.3 million people expected to evacuate and 950,000 injured. The report also considers a coseismic slip, which could result in an additional 176,000 deaths. The government plans to review its disaster prevention plan this summer, considering the aging population and growing risks. All entities are urged to mobilize their full resources in preparation.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, how many inches is 3 meters?
3 meters. I'm not sure because we are in daily life, so we are only using the meters. So,
Okay, I wonder how long maybe the wave of the tsunami is.
for 1 meter is equivalent to 40 inches.
1 meter is 40 inches.
Yes.
So that might be equivalent to 120
The
inches.
120 inches.
Okay, that's high.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Higher than my height.
yeah. I was also estimating my height. Okay. Oh, it will damage a lot. Okay,
Yes.
then let's move on to the next part.
Mhm.
So, which is to answer the questions. So, I'll read each question and please say your answers out loud. So, let's start with number one. So, what has the government revised regarding the death toll from the earthquake along the Nankai through?
The government revised. Regarding the thing. Sorry, I couldn't guess that. Yeah.
Okay, so please check paragraph 1. You might find it there.
Okay. Mm, the estimation for the death.
So, what will be the final answer? You're almost there. You're there.
Estimation.
Yes, the estimation.
Yeah.
Mm. So they revised the estimation of the death toll. Okay, so now let's have question number 2. How much larger is the affected area from the resulting tsunami projected to be?
30% more than before.
Yeah. Okay, so that's big.
Yeah.
Let's just pray it won't happen. Okay, let's have number 3.
Mhm.
What does the report predict about the tsunami wave heights in Kuche Prefecture?
34 meters.
Mm.
34
Okay.
meters. That's too high. So,
Yes, that's too high.
yeah,
So
11 times higher than 3 meters. So,
so
I can imagine. So it's
yeah.
kind of building.
How many
Huh.
story will that be?
Sorry, what?
How many stories of if we're
Stories.
going to record?
I'm not sure, but 10 stories?
That's very high.
Yeah, that's very high.
Oh, so that's scary. So
Yes.
this forecast is a bit scary. Okay, so now let's move on to the next activity, which is the read out. So
Mhm.
please read out the article
Okay.
before we will be hit by tsunami.
Okay. Yeah. Japan lowers earthquake death toll. This toll estimated to 298,000. The government's Central Disaster Management Council has updated its estimate for the death toll from a massive earthquake along the Nankai Trough, lowering it to 298,000, down from 323,000. However, the area impacted by the resulting tsunami is now projected to be 30% larger than before. The report also estimates that between 26,000 and 52,000 people could die indirectly, and the economic damage is expected to reach 292 trillion yen. The Nankai Trough, stretching from Shizuoka to Miyazaki, has experienced significant earthquakes, including those in 1944 and 1946. In 2025, the government raised the probability of a major earthquake within the next 30 years from 70 to 80% to 80%. The report estimates that a tsunami with waves of 33 meters would impact over 115,000 hectares, 30% more than before. The highest tsunami wave could reach 34 meters in Kochi Prefecture. The death toll assumes a late night winter tsunami scenario where 20% of people evacuate immediately. In this case, 215,000 would die from the tsunami, accounting for 70% of the death toll, with 12.3 million people expected to evacuate and 950,000 injured. The report also considers cos- cosi-
Coseismic slip.
coseismic, coseismic, coseismic slip, which could result in an additional 176,000 deaths. And the government plans to review its disaster prevention plan this summer, considering the aging population and growing risk. All entities are urged to mobilize their full resources in preparation.
Okay, so now let's move on to the next activity, which is the discussion. So please look at the directions.
Okay.
Okay, now please answer each question freely or by using the situation given. So I'll read each question, then you can answer freely or open the answer key to have a better idea of how to answer. So let's start with number one. Do you think people should always be prepared for a natural disaster? Why or why not?
Oh yes, I do. And in Japan, so like this article said, we are so educated that we can prepare enough for that severe situation by the natural disaster. So
Mhm.
yeah, just following that lesson from actually we experienced Japan experienced very large earthquakes that caused significant impact on our infrastructures before 1995. So
Yes.
yeah, from that lessons we should learn and we should be prepared for that natural disasters.
Oh, okay. So now you can say that your government is well prepared than before.
Yeah, compared to before, and so actually the government revised the law for the buildings constructions. So more stable to earthquakes.
Oh, so there's already a standard when you are building
Yeah,
or when
yeah,
you are making a building.
yeah, that's right.
And you have to pass that standard or else you won't have your building.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Ah, okay. I think Philippines doesn't have that.
right.
Yes. Okay,
Mm.
well, I'm honest enough to say that Philippines is not ready for the big one.
Mm, but you are likely to have those big earthquakes as well.
Yeah, we have experienced
Mm-hmm.
7.2. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
7.2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's less casualties way back then.
Mm.
But I don't know if this big one will hit Philippines. I don't know if how
Mm.
big the
Yeah,
damage
yeah.
will be.
Mm.
Because of the trench, but I'm not familiar with
Yeah.
the trench and on what areas is it going
Uh-huh.
to pass through.
Uh-huh.
Okay, is it the same in Japan that it has some trench that is following some trench?
Sorry, what is trench?
I think it's their way. It's
It's
something.
for
It's
evacuation.
no, it's not. It's a way that they predicted the earthquake will pass through.
Oh, I think we are researching about that, and so we can So the government provides us with some hazard
Mm.
map. So
Okay, so
yeah, that is
earthquake prone areas.
the areas impacted by this natural disasters like earthquakes or so tsunami or
And then,
yeah something like that.
so
So yeah,
about
we get
how about the people that is living in that certain area? Are
yes.
they
Mhm.
are they advised to have something or to relocate into um some areas instead of just settling in that certain area?
But we didn't have time to just continue the
Thank
discussion.
you so much. Have
Yeah.
a
Thank
have a
you.
good
Thank
day.
you.